Shalom, everyone. Now, I'm going to presume that everyone out there remembers that the period between Passover and Shavuot on the Jewish calendar, a 7-week span, is intended to be a mourning period, a period of grieving. And thus, that period is not at all an appropriate time for simchas, for weddings, stuff like that. But there are 2 days during that period when partying is totally appropriate and in fact required. One is Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of a new month, and the other one is Lag Bomer, correct. And truth be told, we really do need those 2 days to lift the gloom of the other 47 days. And to be reminded that life is filled with opportunities just to kick back and to be happy. In fact, we are taught that getting married on either of those 2 days is a great thing to do. Being happy is a very important thing in Jewish life. So for this weekend, our motto might properly be, don't worry, be happy. Why? July 4th, Saturday, is Shabbat. And Shabbat is called oneg. The word oneg means delight or a pleasure. No matter what has happened during the week, we are asked to set aside our pain and our discomfort and our sorrow to the best of our abilities and to be happy. Okay. And July 4th, secondly, is also July 4th, American Independence Day. Because beside all of the shopping specials in crowded malls, we look forward to parades and picnics and swimming and the stirring music of John Philip Sousa. I was in marching band in high school. Grilling hamburgers, hot dogs, and all that charcoal filling the air with dense climate-destroying smoke. Okay. We all know that in most sane parts of the country, there will be no parades or crowded malls this year. Santa Monica just announced that its beaches will be closed. They will be locked and barricaded July 3rd to July 6th. There'll be no publicly sponsored fireworks shows in Santa Monica. There's going to be a lot of pirate fireworks activity, something else. No swimming in the ocean, no picnics, and a heavy emphasis on social distancing and the wearing of masks. But still, we will take the time to celebrate the founding of our country and to contemplate what can and must be done for us to live up to our founding ideals. One more thing. The Torah cycle between Israel and the diaspora has been out of sync since Shavuot. But on July 4th, Torah readings all across the world will once again be identical. For Torah readers, that's a big deal. So add it up. Shabbat, Independence Day, Torah readings back in sync. So we have ample reason to take a break today from all of the real threats to our lives, to our economy, to the social well-being of our country. And we should just enjoy July 4th. We deserve this. We've earned it. July 4th this year needs to be our special day of oneg v'simcha v'sason, real happiness. Okay. Our combined Sedras this week are catch-up Sedras, our Chukat-Balak, Numbers 19, beginning with verse 1 and following. Almost the very first words of our combined Sedras are Zot Chukat HaTorah. Translation, this is the ritual law, Chukat HaTorah. So CHUKAH is being translated as law, right? But isn't halacha law? But then what does edut mean? Or how is mishpat different, or mishmeret? And how do each and all of these different biblical terms stand apart from mitzvah? In fact, these are complicated questions requiring much rabbinic pilpul, P-I-L-P-U-L, obsessive, detailed, driven argumentation. You see, the Torah cannot allow itself to use different words to refer to the very same phenomenon. There must be a difference. So edut is not mishpat, is not mishmeret, is not halacha, is not chukah. The bottom line is that the word used to introduce our Sedra is understood to mean that we are encountering a law that cannot be explained or derived by human reason. That's what a CHUKAH is assigned to mean. The Midrash understands that there are just 4 such chukot in the entire Torah. What are they? I'm glad you asked. Don't mix linen and wool in the same garment. CHUKAH. The scapegoat ritual on Yom Kippur. CHUKAH. The levirate marriage, which involves the obligation to marry one's brother's childless widow. CHUKAH. And the preparation and use of the ashes of a red heifer. Non-rational. We could not have invented them. They were supposedly, the rabbis will decide, put into the Torah by God as a test of our commitment to follow each and every obligation. So our Sedra begins with an acknowledgement that there are things that we are incapable of understanding. This red heifer stuff? Take a spotless, absolutely pure red heifer, reduce it to ashes along with some select spices and water, and use the mixture to purify someone who has come into contact with a corpse. But here's the mystifying part. Those who prepare the mixture are thereby rendered impure, while those who receive the mixture are rendered pure. Mitamet tatahorim mitaheret tatmeim. There's no logic to it. Just do it. Blind faith. Sometimes, folks, not just the way things are. But wait, we're not done here. A little bit further on in the text, the Israelites, our ancestors, are at it again. They're complaining about the lack of water. It has been almost 40 years since they had left Egypt, and they still will not trust God to care for them. Moses and Aaron are beyond despair. They begged, fell on their knees, begged God for help. God told Moses to assemble everyone and speak to a rock, and water will flow. Old, exhausted, frustrated, and at his wits' end, and by the way, still mourning the recent death of his sister Miriam and knowing that his brother Aaron was himself close to death, Moses hit the rock instead. Water flowed. But because in this instance, after 40 years, Moses had not done exactly what God had instructed, Moses now was told that he will not be allowed to enter the promised land. This seems to me to be very much like divine, blatant overkill. The rabbis, for the second time here, resort to pilpul to unsuccessfully try to explain that which cannot be explained. After all, we have to protect God from a charge of capriciousness and a lack of justice. There is a profoundly painful truth linking Moses' unjust punishment with the making of the ashes of the red heifer. Not Everything can always be explained in life. Not everything can be reduced to cause and effect. We will not always be able to pull back a curtain and find the wizard standing there. Not everything can be explained through theodicy, the exploration of divine justice. I know that we are desperate to have everything explained. I know that we are desperate to possess a code, a key that can unlock all mysteries and allow us to feel in control. But there are chukot in our world. There are things that we cannot and we will not ever be able to understand. That's why community is so utterly critical for us. That's why relationships of trust are irreplaceable. That's why we cannot truly survive without knowing how to love and how to be loved. That's why a hug is priceless. That's why an unexpected call of support is priceless. That's why a silent visit expresses volumes. And that's why we seek nurturance from a tradition that is thousands of years old. Despite our most profound wishes, light is not everywhere available in our lives. There is so much that seems illogical and confusing and unfair and unjust. There are times when God seems hidden from us. There are red heifers and bitter acts of injustice that can never be explained. And that's why we crave the spiritual nourishment of others who truly care. And that's why we study those texts written by so many who have searched. And that's why we are still standing. Shabbat Shalom, my friends. Reach out this week. Touch the lives of others. Be present when others are only feeling absence. By the way, July 4th, Simcha, Sason, Oneg, Shabbat Shalom.